Yes, Sergeant.
On average, 100 Palestinian children lose their lives every day. The massacre, which saw a staggering death toll of 36,379, forces us to confront an unpleasant question. What kind of world are we living in where massacres are not held accountable? This video is an adaptation of an article originally published by the China Academy. April 24th, 2024 was just another day for you and me. But for Palestinians, it was a day where indiscriminate killing from Israel grimly awaited. For asylum seekers in the UK, it was a day when the UK made it legal to deport them to Rwanda. For student protesters in the US, it was a day when campus police no longer kept them safe. On the same day, US President Biden hailed the passage of a $95.34 billion foreign aid bill.
It's a good day for world peace. It's going to make the world safer, and it continues America's leadership in the world.
The bill includes $60 billion in military aid to Ukraine, which would help to replenish stocks of US arms dealers. Another $14.1 billion goes to Israel, diverting funds for the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine refugees. Whose world gets safer? While gentlemen in Congress voted to support Israel's self-defense, hundreds of Palestinian civilian bodies were piled in mass graves, including women and children. While the gentlemen in Congress were purportedly making the world safer, peaceful US students in support of Palestine were being violently arrested. Meanwhile, their ally on the other side of the Atlantic has just struck a good deal. Under a newly signed agreement with Rwanda, the UK can now force the deportation of its refugees as long as it pays the cleaning fee of £370 million, which is minuscule compared to the US's military aid. To treat refugees like waste is an egregious violation of refugee rights established internationally after World War II. Yet, it never poses a problem for countries dominating the current global capitalist hierarchy, where affluent Western nations offload their responsibilities to poorer countries for a nominal fee. Before the UK, Israel had labelled Eritrean and Sudanese migrants as infiltrators and sent them to Rwanda and Uganda. Capitalist globalisation and modernisation promised the world a utopia of free movement, prosperity, and peace, driven by the free market. However, for most people, this utopia remains an illusion as it is only reserved for a privileged few, the gentlemen in Capitol Hill and the Palace of Westminster, the Israelis armed with guns and tanks targeting the Palestinian people, and the wealthy tycoons perched at the top of the global wealth pyramid. This utopia for the few, built upon the blood and suffering of the rest of the world, has a more fitting name: imperialism. The current imperialist order we are living in, which can be traced back to the capitalist expansion of the 16th century, is the bane of numerous forced displacements and sufferings. To explore this topic further, click the link to access the full article. In the face of a genocide unfolding in front of our eyes, how can anyone claim the world we are living in a safe place? Who is packaging the old colonial imperialist order as a new, free, universal one? Perhaps the answer was not as evident in the past, as the mask of modernity concealed the rotten truth. However, now, in the bloodshed of Palestinians, in the voices of arrested and protesting students, in the fiery blaze ignited by Aaron Bushnell, in the eyes of refugees forcibly transferred to Rwanda, we, the people yearning for a new order, can see the answer. We will bear witness to the birth of a new world.
To follow key dynamics that are shaping how China sees the world, click here to visit the independent website thechinaacademy.org for content trusted by 150 million followers.